Hi! Today I'm making fire effects for my miniatures, specifically for Bai, who is a firebender from the last video. To the side I have my computer, on which I have some references from the show of characters bending fire, so I know more or less what I'm trying to make. I'm mainly using hot glue and wire for this project, and I tried working on a sheet of glass on which the hot glue won't stick. But please be careful with any sort of glass so you don't hurt yourself. And unfortunately my glass still stuck to the glue, so I used wax paper, although that has its own problems. Anyway, parchment paper would probably have worked better, but I don't have any. Anyway, the wax layer on the wax paper comes off, and it affects the clearness of the glue, and my wax paper has patterns on it, so yeah, I had to clean that off. I'm using colored hot glue sticks, but you can use clear glue sticks and transparent paint to paint them instead. My glue colors are clear, yellow, red and neon pink. And guess what? When Anne and Zuko met Ryan and Shaw to learn firebending, there were multiple colors of fire. So I'm making Bai some neon pink fire. Let's just say it happens on special occasions. I do wish I had orange and white glue sticks as well, as the former would work nice as a transition color between the red and yellow, especially since my red glue is pinkish, and the white would have made the pink look better, but oh well. I used 3 red, 3 yellow, 2 pink and lots of clear glue sticks. I start by making a wire frame for my attack effects. So I have a single piece of wire for support, just to help keep my effect in the air. Then I have a doubled up wire that forms the main body and wraps around, for example, the wrist or the foot or the weapon on which it attaches. This is the basic frame, and depending on what you want, we have some variations. For example, I have 4 plain ones that are just straight, one with extra wire pieces at the end that makes it look like it's splitting, and another that ended up looking like a bird. I should have used proper references for that one. Then the one that attaches to a foot with a bit of a swooshing effect, and one that coils around her sword for a bit of movement. So, after my wax paper has been rolled out and my glue gun heated up, I start. Unfortunately, I didn't quite record it, but for my firewalls, I directly add the hot glue to my wax paper, starting with the clear glue. I add the glue in a somewhat thick layer up and down, zigzag like motion, going just a bit less than a third of the height I want, and I go smaller towards the end of my firewalls. After my clear glue, I use the yellow, doing the same thing, making sure that I have overlap with my clear hot glue. The two together ends up being about 2/3 of the height, and I didn't quite go to the edges. Next up, the red, pretty much repeating the same, but not as condensed and just going around the edges, and in some spots I add some between the yellow and clear, and I go at it haphazardly and give some shape to the tips at the top. I made 3 firewalls, 2 long and 1 short, and I can arrange them in various ways to get the look I want. After the glue had completely cooled, I peeled them off, used some rubbing alcohol to remove the wax paper lines, and then add a thick line of glue to my wax paper and put them on top. You can see I put a small firewall in a curve, so you can do that if you want to. While holding it up, I add more glue to the base. The taller your firewall, the more glue you need to use as the base, otherwise it'll just fall over. After that cools, I peel it off and bam! Firewall! I make sure it can stand, otherwise I add more glue to the base. For my attack effects, I go in a similar order, adding clear, then yellow, then red, or clear, white if I had it, and pink. First pass of the clear glue is to thicken the base of the wire. I keep a bowl of cold water next to me to dunk it in to cool faster. I use a few passes to thicken up the clear glue base, and then with the final layer of clear hot glue, I take a skewer and poke at it until it cools, which makes a nice flame texture. Next I go with the yellow, building up where I need to and poking it when it's the final yellow layer. And I repeat with the red. Since the red is the coldest part of a fire, if I wanted to make some movement, I'd do it with the red. Unfortunately, I only did this with the pink. With the pink, I did a lot with the clear glue, mainly because I didn't have a secondary color, and then the pink, which is actually quite translucent. For the swooshing parts, I add a bit of glue, take my wooden skewer, and pull some of the newly added glue and dunk it into my cold water. Since I don't have white glue, I used some white paint and covered that with the clear hot glue, although the effect was minimal. The more translucent the glue, the better the effect. If your glue is less translucent, then it's better to use more clear glue and thinner coats of your colored glue. Also, while poking the glue, some of it got stuck onto my skewer, and after pulling it off, it coincidentally had the shape of a small flame my character could hold in her hand. You could probably try putting LEDs in them to give them a even cooler look. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll have fun with this little work with me and that it might give you some ideas. Bye.